Hello, it's Christmas book club time. I'm so excited. I love a book club and I love Christmas and I love Christmas books. So it's the absolute perfect choice for those of you over on my Substack who voted for this one. I was quite surprised because it was October when we voted for this and I wasn't feeling remotely Christmassy. And I'm not sure if I am feeling Christmassy now, although I'm kind of almost there. But this book helped in some small part. I am really excited to talk to you about this book, and we'll keep it nice and short. And if you want to comment and let me know how you enjoyed the book, then do so below on this video or pop over to the post on my Substack and we can discuss it there. I'll keep an eye on all the comments over the next couple of weeks and see what you all thought. Warning, there are spoilers. So if you haven't read it yet and want to get involved in our Christmassy book club for this book, then please do maybe just save this video somewhere and give the book a read and come back to it. But we have been reading Karen Swan's All I Want for Christmas. I really loved this book. And I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting to. But I love and adore everything Karen Swan writes. But maybe it's because it wasn't really Christmassy for most of the book, is what I felt here. Right, let me do the blurb. I'll read you the blurb, and then if you haven't read the book yet, you can decide whether you want to and come and join in later. And for those of you who have read the book, it might be a few weeks ago that you read this because I'm probably a bit behind you guys. So let's see. Right, so can she find love this Christmas? Christmas in Copenhagen is a magical time of year, but Darcy Cottrell isn't feeling festive. Newly single, she's not even going home for Christmas and instead must spend the holidays working on her art history PhD. Her best friend Freya has other ideas though and signs Darcy up to a dating app, determined that she won't be lonely this Christmas. Darcy agrees to 3 dates, her mind still on work. An unknown portrait by Denmark's greatest painter has been found and she is tasked with identifying the woman in the painting. During her research, she encounters sexy, arrogant lawyer Max Lorentzen, who happens to be a bachelor number one. The attraction is instant, but knowing they must work together, they abandon the match or try to, yet their feelings are undeniable until Darcy discovers Max has an agenda. Now, I'm not sure why, but when I read the blurb, I wasn't really feeling it. I wasn't really feeling it, and I don't know why. Maybe because I wasn't in a Christmas mood. Who knows? But I felt that the blurb, after I finished reading the book, I felt that this blurb didn't really do this book any justice. I felt that the book was way better than the blurb made it sound. Tell me how you felt about that. I also felt that this book wasn't very Christmassy. It wasn't very Christmassy, which is perhaps why I loved it as much as I did, because I wasn't in a hugely Christmas mood in the middle of October when we picked this. And I think it was maybe chapter 12, maybe even chapter 17, before they go to the Christmas market and there suddenly start becoming mentions of Christmas. And it was only then, and I thought, oh yes, this is a Christmas book. I forgot that. So I was quite intrigued by that. And I think it's very well done, because perhaps when you're reading a Christmas book, you don't maybe want Christmas rammed down your throats. I'm quite new to Christmas books. I don't really read them as a general rule, and I think I might start. So if you know any more that you can recommend, either of Karen Swan's or of any other writer who you like the look of for Christmas books, or you're like, oh no, I read this one last year and it was fantastic, and please let me know, because it is the season. So I'm quite happy to get on with that. There's a line in this blurb which I sort of didn't really gloss over when I read it, but I was kind of interested in the romance side. But it's she has to an unknown portrait by Denmark's greatest painter has been found, and she is tasked with identifying the woman in the painting. It's a 2-liner, but that is essentially what the entire book is about. The entire book is an art mystery. And I love that. I love that the entire book is an art mystery. I love any secret bits of history. And although it's all very made up, I was reading the sort of acknowledgements at the end and about how she researched this. And that's really interesting to read as well. This is so up my street. I love an art mystery. I love any kind of secret history, be it fake or real. And I felt that was so undersold on the back of this. I felt like the dating app element of it was so minuscule that it takes up an awful lot more room in the blurb than it does in the book, and that I felt like maybe this appeals to different sorts of people. Maybe the bit about the romance and then the bit about the art mystery. Maybe it's designed to hook you in either one of those things. But I think I'd have definitely picked this up on day one when it came out if I'd really sort of paid attention perhaps to the fact there was more of an art mystery than there was the romance side of things. I would love to know what you felt about that. Did you enjoy the art mystery? What did you think? Is that what you want from a Christmas book? It's really intriguing. And also, some of you I think have read Karen Swan before. So when we chose this over on my Substack, there are a lot of Karen Swan fans, which I am as well. I've been loving her Wild Isle series set on St Kilda. So if you haven't read those yet, give that a go. I think the last one is coming out in June, I think it is, so in summer. what did we think about the guys that she dated as part of this? And there are spoilers. There are spoilers in this, so switch off now if you're not interested in finding out who she gets with. But I think it's probably quite obvious from the blurb. Axel, we just knew he was going to be a wrong un from the start. I felt that he was coming across as more aloof than Max, which was really interesting because Max was almost pitted as the bad guy, or the bad boy rather, and we all love a bad boy. Axel was just coming across a bit disinterested, so I found that quite intriguing, and I thought, well, I wonder if they're keeping him in the background so that when he does arrive, he is the salvation to all her problems. But actually, Max was. I felt it was going to be Max all the way through until the very last page. The very last page, I thought, oh no, they're not actually going to get together. How is she doing this to us? Why is she doing this to us? This is awful. I want them to get together. And he is so aloof and so distant from her and so set in his ways that he doesn't want to be in a relationship. And I thought, God, she's not going to do it. She's not going to turn him around. She's not going to actually convince him that they should be together. And I sort of stopped what I was doing and thought, no, I don't want to turn the page and find out. But obviously, in the end, they do get together, and it was done so beautifully and so well, because I had that doubt in my mind for so long. I'm genuinely panicking. I was like, oh no, I can't have this happen. So yeah, I felt that was really good. Please tell me what you thought about that as well. Were you also panicking like I was, thinking, oh, there actually won't be a happy ending? This is awful. Let me know. What else did I made some notes. I was just really interested about, the pace of the book. Did you find it really pacey? I just kept turning the pages. I couldn't stop. I found it deeply, deeply engrossing. And it has now made me want to read all the other Christmas books that I think I just have missed from her. I've been reading all her lovely summary ones and her St Kilda series, and I've kind of been working my way through Karen Swan's backlist, but I have definitely got on my wish list a lot of Christmas books from her to go, so I'm quite excited to read those. But I would love to know, what did you think? How did you feel? Did you whip through it? Did you love Max from the beginning? Did you think they were going to get together? Did you not think they were going to get together like I did when we got to the final pages? What did you think of the art mystery? I thought that was incredibly well done. I take my hat off to Karen Swan for that. I thought that was incredibly well done. I absolutely devoured the art mystery and the pacing of that, and going back in time. I felt so completely invested in this mystery. That is obviously fiction. It's just so well put on the page that I don't have a single bad thing to say about this book. I was just completely into it. I loved it, and I'd love to know if you felt the same. So this is our first book club read, and you picked a good one, guys. Thank you so much for that. I think there were quite a few of you who voted, and I think this vote outvoted the other two choices by 2 or 3 votes. So it was quite tight. So we've got a few more that we can do for Christmas. We've got one more, obviously, before Christmas comes. And I think I will, over on my Substack, I'll write down. I've found 3 Christmassy books that are fairly new, and I definitely haven't read them because I don't really do Christmas books, but I think you've converted me. And then we'll choose together on that, and then we'll go again early December. And then after that, we can pick something different for January. But yeah, let me know what you thought. I loved it. Happy Christmas, even though it's a month away.